Hi everyone, this is the part two of the attendance list app demo. Before we ended the part one, I was explaining that the functionality for the attendance list itself was developed by the facilitator, Mr. Chusen Uka of the Women Techstars Fellowship. 2021 software development track. He facilitated us, and then we're given the tasks to go about coming up with a meeting report. And so this is where I actually did my own algorithm and my own coding. So let's go back to the code where I was talking about the add user. So we look at the add user. So here is a guard which is checking that the email field which is gotten from this email input value. Remember that we got this input, this the element from the DOM here, so we have it over here. And then at the end of the day, we also check to ensure that the meeting record does not have this key because the meeting record is actually a map, does not have this key email in it. Having gotten that, we now, if this key email is not in this meeting records, we'll set it to an empty array. And then anytime a user gets into the meeting, a new record is added as entered. And then anytime the user leaves the meeting, a new record is added as left. So we can see it here. If there is a previous entry and there is no left, then there will be an output message saying you have already joined the meeting. So here we are pushing joined at every point in time into the email, the array of into that array that we created there, and then the DOM is updated. The same thing is done for the for the exit user function as well, and the DOM is updated. So the update DOM function has this in it. So if you look at this update DOM function, you can see this in it. So the update DOM function simply uses JavaScript fragment, new document fragment, and then loops through our meeting records, get each email, and then get the each record of the array meeting records, and from there we create our row and then append it to the document fragment. At the end of the day, now we empty the attendance list table and then add the document fragment to the attendance list table. So this is the update DOM function. So here is me calculating the duration for when a user enters and when a user leaves in order to generate my report. So what happens is if leave time is undefined, I'm assuming that you stayed till the end. So what we'll do is we are going to check a maximum duration variable and then subtract the difference between the last time you were in the meeting and the current and the meeting start time. So when we go up here, you see that other variables were declared as well, where we have the meeting start time as well as the maximum duration of the meeting in order to ensure that the person is not is the report does not show that a person stays longer than necessary. So and then we use this diff variable in order to calculate the difference between when the person joined and left, and then this function returns it. So the main function of interest here is the generate report function. In the generate report function, then we first, for what I did was to check if there's a value in the meetings record. If there is none, we return that alert which say no one has joined the meeting yet. And I the same way I created my document of fragment, got my report table, and also got my report table body. And then I set the style of my report table to block because in the CSS the style was actually in line. And then looping through the meeting records, I will set the duration for a particular email to 0. And then for each time that the user is in the meeting, we calculate the duration. And upon calculating the duration, we add it up to the existing duration for that user. At the end of this, going through this loop, we say that we have a new table row with the report for that particular email displaying there, and then we append it to the